I'm Steve Morgenstern. I teamed up with Phelps Game Calls to produce a small batch, high quality, made in America turkey call. I'm from Kirksville, Missouri. I've been here basically all my life, between here and a little town north here about 9 miles, and just been in this general area the whole time. I've been building turkey calls for probably in the neighborhood of 20 years total. My main job is building mouth calls, and I've done that for somewhere around 10 years now. The pot call stuff, I've dabbled with and built those about the 20-year line, and that's kind of my gig, That's what I do. I like it, I enjoy it. Guess it gets me away from the regular have-to jobs, I actually got into the turkey hunting. I worked in a sporting goods store for several years and was just around it. I'd always done the rabbit, squirrel type stuff, and then just had some buddies come in that turkey hunted and kind of got me involved and interested in it. The calling part, it was just a matter of playing with calls that was in the store at the time, and I kind of had a knack for the friction type calls, and just decided one day I wanted to go deeper in it and learn to play the calls better, and then progressed into, man, I'm going to try a turkey calling contest. And I hunted, not knowing what I was doing to begin with, and kind of learn as I go thing with both the hunting and the calling part. Then the building just kind of progressed from that point. Probably the one big thing is I had a buddy of mine that's passed now, but he was huge into waterfowl, turkey, and all of that, and he kind of took me under his wing and got me into it, and helped me along the way, and pushed me to do more with it. I mean, he had a little company, and after the first contest that I called in, he kind of took me under his wing, and I went and spent some time with him in his shop, and he showed me a few of the nuances of it and kind of what it involved. Now at that time, we were back into some of the plastic pot stuff, and the wood pots really hadn't taken off like they are today. But as far as like the assembly of them, the glues, the clamps or no clamps, or components that went into that call, he kind of helped me along the way, kind of helped plug me along in it, and it was a interest that I took on pretty strong and enjoyed doing, and just kind of went with. Kind of the inspiration to the call building thing is I got into playing the production type stuff, and I do the contest and I do the hunting stuff. And the fact that I wanted more, it seemed like I always wanted more than what I could get a hold of. And, it kind of lit a spark as far as trying to build something that can go above and beyond what I was able to get a hold of. And whether that be, taking one out of the package and taking it apart and re-gluing it, or doing something different with it to get what I was after. I don't know that I knew exactly what I was after at the time, but I knew I wanted more than what I had right then. And, it just kind of transpires into the, let's see what we can get mode, and what if I do this? And, it just kind of evolved from, here's what I've got and here's what I want. Let's see how we can make that happen. I like seeing what I can come up with. Putting stuff, putting different woods together, or just getting a wood that you haven't worked with and turning a chunk of wood into a turkey call that you can go out and hunt with and have success with in the field, on a stage, whatever. I love the mystery of what you're going to get, what you're going to end up with. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not so good, but that kind of keeps a guy driving, and that's the exciting part of it. The downside to all of that is, struggle-wise, is making a piece of wood work and keeping it together and not having it blow up when you get it on the lathe. As far as getting the materials and stuff, you know, sometimes that gets a little tough, but it's out there somewhere. It's just a matter of what it's going to cost you to get it to your place. And it's kind of disheartening when you get almost done with something and have it blow up in your face or bust off or split, or ultimately when you get it put together and it doesn't do what you want it to do. You know, it's I've made plenty of hockey pucks and coasters in my life, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. And I guess that would be the downside to the whole call building thing. But when it works, it's a great thing, man. The competition level, especially nowadays, is through the roof. Everybody that goes to these contests can play a call and play it really well. You have to find something that will set you apart a little bit from everybody else. Everybody that gets up there and sounds the same, then it's into a mechanical type thing. And to set yourself apart, you got to do something that's kind of out there, think outside the box type thing. Throw a little extra something in, or do it in a little different manner that somebody else maybe not doing, something to pique that judge's interest, kind of to perk their ears up and say, whoa, wait a minute, you know, let's see what this let's see what he does next. And, you know, throughout the years, I mean, I've called for 30 plus years and, you know, and had success all the way through. But I think part of that is because I've moved with the times and evolved with what's going on and what's there today, and, you know, adding those little extras in. And that's what I've always thought, that I wanted to stand out a little bit over the next guy or the last guy or whatever it is. I've actually won some actually Kentucky State just this past summer. Finished, you know, like an Al Hooten or a friction contest. You know, I mean, going way back, I actually won the first contest I ever called in back in 1990, and then kind of progressed along with the U.S. Open in like 1995 and a World Friction Championship in 2013. And I've made top 5 at Grand Nationals, you know, multiple times, which is kind of the pinnacle of what we do and what we're into. But overall through the years, I mean, I've kind of progressed through and, you know, had some success in multiple decades. The main idea behind this small batch project is to be able to bring people high quality calls with high quality materials like the teak wood, the green slate, the Osage, and make something that we can stand behind, Phelps can be proud of, and we can pass down generation to generation. And knowing that it's all made in the USA, it's something that we all believe in, and we trust that we can bring you, to the best of our ability, the calls that you want to put in your vest to go get after turkeys. The great thing about partnering with Phelps on this small batch of calls is the ability for me to fulfill a large order in my little one-man operation makes it tough, where Phelps has a process where they can streamline the production of the pots, but still yet I can be on the phone with them, instructing them on specs. And the Phelps team will machine these small batch pots to my specifications, and I'll assemble them and run quality control right here in my shop. These pots will not leave the shop unless there's something both Phelps and I can be proud of. The slate caul is a green slate surface in a teak wood pot. Then we've got an aluminum with an Osage pot. The reasoning we picked behind this is the teak wood is a little softer. You've got the slate, a little mellower sound, you know, for some of the mellower calling that you're going to do. Dimensions on both of them are different because that's what makes them work. We set out to build the highest quality American-made product that we could build. And this is a combination we came up with just from the workability and the overall quality of the product. Okay, so let's go into the use of the cauls and kind of the care and what to do and not to do with them. First off, slate caul, teak pot, get that caul up on your fingertips, okay? Sound holes in the back, you gotta let that sound out somehow. Then rest your hand on the side, bring that over, you want your peg at a little bit of an angle, then you're gonna come across and down. If you wanna add to it, short, quick strokes. Bring it up. Yelping, you're coming across and down for that high and low note. Whether you make a fish hook, a J, a circle, however it is. Rest your hand up off your palm on your fingertips and across and down. And then put the rhythm to it. As far as clucking, cutting, you're just popping that. Leave the peg on the surface and pop it. If you want to change pitches on it, pop it a different way. But leave that peg on the surface all the time. Don't pick it up or you're going to get the clicks. As far as purring, you're wanting to skip that along that surface. And you're dragging it along. Add a cluck. Now you're going to get to spots where that surface gets a little slick. Green pad, take and you're going just back and forth on it to kind of rough that back up, keep it conditioned. Into your peg, just kind of rub the stuff off the end of the peg. As far as overall care of this caul, okay, it's wood and it's slate, which are all natural substances. They're going to be weather affected, so I understand they're not, you know, they're not a plastic $10 or $15 caul. Don't treat them like that. Take care of them. Take care of it like a fine rifle or shotgun. Don't leave it on the dash of your truck. Don't leave it out in the weather. That's all going to have an effect. The heat and humidity will have an effect moving the wood or just drawing general moisture, and overall going to have an effect on that caul. Take care of it like you would a fine rifle, shotgun, etc. The aluminum, we've got in an Osage pot, aluminum surface. It's basically the same thing. Pretty much aluminum is impervious to the weather, but the wood is not necessarily. So take care of it basically the same way that you take care of that with the green pad. Condition the surface, and you're getting the same effect over and down. So use these tips, and best of luck this spring. Hope it's rocking for you.